The elevator suddenly broke down. This man got stuck inside. Unexpectedly, a zombie landing took place. As a result, getting stuck in the elevator was a blessing. Facing all these difficulties, how could this guy escape? Today I'm telling a movie with thrilling and fascinating plot. This movie's title is The End. Claudio was a CEO. Today, when he was going to work as usual, the elevator suddenly broke down, causing him to be stuck inside. He was very worried and impatient, because he had an urgent meeting and many people were waiting for him. He hurriedly called the mechanic so that he could get out of there. But that guy was in trouble on the way he came. After some screams, Claudio heard nothing from that man. Claudio had to rely on himself, so he used all his strength to open the elevator. He tried really hard, but he could only open a little bit. There was still no way to get out. Claudio tried to shout loudly for help, but at this time, there was no one outside. The atmosphere was very strange. Luckily, Claudio received a phone call, which was from his wife. She said that there might be a riot or terror going on. What's more, some people were knocking on her door. She was extremely frightened. Claudio tried to comfort his wife. After that, he called one of his friends, Stefano, and asked him to check what was happening. Right when the call ended, there came some hot news. The news said that the whole city was attacked. All the streets were blocked. Claudio still didn't know anything, so he tried to reach out and call for help. He wanted to escape as soon as possible. Suddenly, two zombies rushed towards him. They opened their black bloody mouths and attacked him. So scared was Claudio that he fell to the floor. Fortunately, the zombies were stopped by the elevator, so they couldn't reach him. At that critical moment, a woman's piercing scream drew the zombies' attention. So they left to follow that voice. Claudio was shocked. He sat on the floor and still couldn't calm down. He had no idea about what those things were. What exactly was happening outside? Claudio called Stefano to warn him about that. But from the other side of the line came his scream. After that, he called his wife and secretary, but no one picked up. It turned out that all the news on his phone were true. The entire city had fallen. His wife might have been in trouble. Claudio was extremely hopeless and heartbroken. Fortunately, at that moment, his secretary called back. When Claudio was about to answer the call, a hand suddenly grabbed him. After fiercely fighting back, he hid in a corner in the elevator. He used all his strength to remove the handle, and made it a weapon in order to protect himself. It might because he was both scared and angry, so he became stronger. It was the first time he had killed a person. Even though his enemies were zombies, they used to be human. Zombie pandemic spread out, and this man got stuck in the elevator. Through the gap, he discovered a living woman. She was quietly hiding from the pursuit of zombies. Claudio told her to get in the elevator to hide with him. But the gap was too small, she couldn't get in. What's worse, they made some noises and were discovered by the zombies. In the end, the zombies devoured the woman. Even though a woman was being violently attacked in front of him, Claudio was helpless. The more he witnessed, the more he worried about his family. With a little ray of hope, he called his wife again. This time, someone picked it up. But there came his wife's scream. She was being attacked. Claudio was completely desperate. He sat alone in the elevator. At this time, a man wanted to get inside, but eventually failed. Seeing that there were full of corpses outside, Claudio gradually became angry and shouted at the zombies. But because the gap was too small, they couldn't enter. And Claudio couldn't get out. At the same time, another living person appeared. This time, Claudio changed his tactics. He didn't tell her to enter, but asked her to quickly run away from there. And he would use all his strength to mislead them. But it didn't work this time, because there were too many zombies. So the woman couldn't fight back them herself. Claudio was very helpless. He collapsed, and then used his phone to check the situation outside. Through a live stream of a journalist, he learned that the whole city was in danger. The electricity was cut off again. Tired Claudio looked at the zombies. Suddenly there was a gunshot. An armed soldier found Claudio. At this time, the elevator might be the safest place. The soldier gave him a pistol so that he could protect himself. After that, he gave Claudio a walkie-talkie for them to contact. And the soldier left to fix the electricity. Not long after the soldier had left, another group of zombies discovered Claudio. He pointed the gun at them with hesitation, because they all used to be his colleagues and good friends. But after talking with the soldier, Claudio was determined and killed all the zombies. With the instruction of Claudio, the soldier successfully fixed the electricity. But unfortunately, he encountered lots of zombies on his way back. He was surrounded, attacked and lost contact with Claudio. Learning that there was no more living person, Claudio was deeply disappointed. He picked the pistol up and intended to end his life. But at this time, from the elevator's roof came a voice. That was the soldier's. He was still alive. Claudio immediately used the handle to open it, and the soldier jumped in. But unluckily, because of fixing the electricity, he was bitten by the zombies. The two were locked in the elevator. Unfortunately, the soldier's leg was bitten and infected. He laughed bitterly and gave the gun to Claudio. He hoped that when he fell asleep, Claudio wouldn't hesitate to kill him. Claudio's mind was a mess and he couldn't do anything. The soldier gradually lost control and his body kept shaking. In the end, he started to attack Claudio. Being at the dead end, Claudio opened fire and killed the soldier. However, he was so strained that he carelessly shot his leg. Hearing the gunshots, the group of zombies rushed towards him. At this time, Claudio was used to death. He pulled the trigger and shot them one by one. He was extremely determined. In the end, he was exhausted and fainted. After a long time, he was awakened by some gunshots. And so did the zombies in front of the elevator. They were lured away. At this time, Claudio's phone rang. That was a strange number, and it was from his wife. She was still alive. Hearing from her, Claudio was extremely excited. The hope of life arose inside him. After checking carefully, he found a strange object stuck in the door. He used the handle to remove it. Stepping on the soldier, he managed to open the door. He used water to wash his blood-stained hands. After calming down, he slowly crawled out of the elevator. Out there, numerous corpses lied on the floor. It looked like a hell. Claudio slowly walked out of the building. The streets were deserted. There was no sign of life. He approached the bridge and picked up a bottle of milk. Unexpectedly, a zombie which was lying on the ground suddenly grabbed his leg. Claudio was frightened and immediately stepped back. But at this time, one of his leg was wounded. Facing this situation, he was completely unable to run away. At the critical moment, there was a gunshot. The zombie collapsed. The soldiers from afar discovered him. Claudio was finally rescued. The end is a low-budget disaster movie. An elevator, some actors, dozens of fake blood bags. The most expensive thing of the whole movie may be a Mercedes car. But when compared to other famous zombie movie, this movie brings a very interesting experience. The movie has a neatly worked out plot. It's really worth watching. That's okay, the movie today ends here. Thank you for watching.